Hey everybody, good morning to you. It is 6 a.m. here on your Thursday. I'm Grace McKenna. Jim's got the day off and so does Matt Breland. So it's Matthew Willoughby joining us from the weather wall today. Matthew, as we wake up, to another really chilly morning out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess we missed the memo to take off, right?
Right, exactly. We all need a little break, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, we'll have some cold conditions on the way for you for this morning. Some patchy frost will be possible out there into the more rural and low valley areas for this morning. Overall, looking at current temperatures right now, Scottsburg at 35 degrees, Mitchell at 35. So some areas starting to see some patchy frost as we dip below that mid-30 mark and just into the lower 30s. Most areas, though, right here in Louisville, warmer, 48 degrees, 42 even in Hodgenville. And even out in Jasper, 40 degrees. We do have that frost advisory in effect until 9 a.m. today, really across our area, and that will continue for us as we head towards most of the morning. We won't see that sunrise until about 8 a.m. today, and this will be our first 8 a.m. sunrise since January, that is. So as you look outside, the next 12 hours will bring us into the at least lower 40s right here in Louisville around 7 a.m., warming back up into the mid 40s. And even lower 50s by the late morning hours, and by the afternoon, we'll top off just around 60 degrees for today. But some areas into southern Indiana won't even get out of the 50s, 58 degrees in places like Paoli, 59, and Bedford Seymour at 59. We head towards tonight, though, we're talking some widespread frost conditions for our weather impact alert day. And we're talking our first fall frost/freeze on the way for us as we head towards the season. And also what you need to know is cover those plants and bring those plants indoors as we head back into tonight. I'll be timing out what you can expect and how cold those temperatures will really get as we head towards tonight. Now let's get a look at that traffic tracker for the start of this Thursday morning. What to expect overall? Looks like we're all clear across the board. Did see a police incident along the Waterson for this morning, but looking like that has now been cleared. Overall, looking at some of those roadways along I-64 for this morning, looking all smooth out there for you as you make your Thursday morning commutes. Overall, though, as you look at those morning drive times, Elizabethtown to downtown, 31 minutes. And if you're heading from the I-64 from Gene Snyder to the junction, 12 minutes this morning. We'll send it back over to you, Grace.
Matthew, thank you. Our top story this morning, the suspect in a deadly shooting at an apartment complex in Jeffersontown is still on the run. Police say around noon on Wednesday, someone alerted them to a shooting on Arbor Point Drive, where the Point at Stony Brook apartments are. Inside one of the units, police found the victim. We spoke to a neighbor who says she's not completely surprised.
Been kind of expecting something like this to happen because there's been a lot of people coming just in and out.
She gave police ring camera footage from after the shooting. Police are asking for more surveillance video and tips to be sent in by email. You can also call 502-267-0503. Just hours later, Jeffersontown police actually hosted their very first night out event. They give the community a chance to meet and get to know first responders. Officer Steve Fisher met with some young students, sowing the seeds of connection.
I feel that I can offer that sense of comfort to them. What's up, partner? How's it going? And let them know that they see a familiar face and a friend and somebody that they can come up to. Did y'all get enough to eat?
Police say they hope community events could help bring in tips about that Wednesday homicide. And this morning, a Louisville man is in police custody after an anonymous tip about a drug operation led police to find almost 20 dogs living in terrible conditions. Gabe Gonzalez is in studio this morning with us. Gabe, LMPD tells us that they actually weren't originally investigating that house for this. It was a drug investigation.
Yeah, hey, good morning, Grace. LMPD got a tip last year about a suspected drug operation. When they executed the search warrant on Tuesday, they found much more than drugs. Tymaine Harris is now charged with 19 counts of animal cruelty, along with a drug charge. Out of the 19 dogs, 3 had to be euthanized because of the severity of their medical conditions. The remaining 16 are undergoing medical evaluations at Louisville Metro Animal Services. 9 of them are already available for adoption. The sergeant on the case told us what officers found when searching the house.
There were some in cages, and most of them were roaming the house. My guess is some of them may be set to be euthanized, so I would recommend that anyone in the public reach out and try and adopt some of these dogs.
Now, this is not the first time Harris was in trouble with his pets. Records show He was cited in 2023 for failing to register a dog named Z with LMAS and was told to treat other dogs for hair loss. Meanwhile, police also suspected Harris of selling synthetic marijuana, also known as spice. Now, this all happened in the Portland neighborhood, but the dogs are now at LMAS on Newburgh Road. Coming up in the next half hour, we're talking with the director of the Arrow Fund about ways you can adopt or help those dogs. Grace?
Gabe, thank you. Another big story for us here today. On this 23rd day of the government shutdown, the Louisville Metro Housing Authority says it's still business as usual for now, and that includes the process of moving people out of the problematic Dosker Manor apartments. LMHA says plans to demolish Dosker Manor, which has seen conditions worsen through the years, and build new affordable housing, are still moving forward. We've now learned LMHA is partnering with Southern Indiana's Happy Home Furniture Bank to help those who are being relocated. One volunteer tells us people often leave behind a lot when they move out.
It makes a big difference. You know, I couldn't imagine not having a bed to sleep in or a clean blanket or dishes to eat out of. So it really makes you feel good when you have helped somebody.
Right now, fewer than 100 people remain in Dosker Manor, and LMHA plans to have them moved out by the end of the year. Officials tell us the government shutdown could push plans for demolition if it stretches into late November or early December. October marks Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and Kentucky leaders are renewing a commitment to end domestic abuse. Wednesday, First Lady Brittany Bashir joined advocates from Zero V and state officials to honor survivors and victims. She praised Kentuckians for donating almost $350,000 during this year's Shop and Share drive and said Kentuckians have given more than $5 million since 2008 to help families rebuild. Speakers also called for legislation and education to combat the state's high domestic violence rates. Zero V Board President Andrea Robinson closed the ceremony by naming more than 20 Kentuckians killed by intimate partners in the last year.
Over many decades, with the efforts of thousands of professionals and everyday survivor advocates, including all of you in this room, we have moved closer to the day when we will no longer have a Speak My Name list. One where
if you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233. You can also speak to a specialist online by going to the website on your screen. That's thehotline.org. A new concept from two Louisville restaurants is coming to the Clifton neighborhood. The owners of Mish Mish and north of Bourbon plan to open Mill Iron 4 on Frankfort Avenue. They say it'll replace the former Enso restaurant, which closed after a fire. The restaurant is expected to open in 2026. Happening today, the Turf Mutt Foundation and the Kentucky Humane Society are partnering for a national dog adoption event. It's called Mulligan's Mutt Madness. More than 100 dogs will be up for adoption at the Kentucky Expo Center. The event starts at 11:30 this morning and ends at 2.